TV getting the hottest jails out of the city. Let the folk know what we got today.
We got Sherman Williams, former running back, Mattie T. Blunt High School, University of Alabama Crimson Tide, and also the Dallas Cowboys. Championship on every level, state, high school, national college, and the world championship with the Dallas Cowboys. So I'm here live with you today.
Alright, you know what I'm saying? Give us a little background story, like where you from, you know what I'm saying? Pritchard, and you know what I'm saying? They
Born,
get
born and raised Pritchard, Alabama. Uh, Attended all my junior high school in Pritchard, elementary school in Pritchard, high school in Pritchard, Blunt High School. Went off to play in college in Alabama, then went off to Dallas, lived in Dallas. So now this year I'm back here, been here in the city of Pritchard and working with the children and in my youth development program. So we're here today at High Point Park.
alright, give them a little backstory though, you know what I'm saying? Like how you started doing this and you know what I'm saying, your time at with the Cowboys and transitioning to doing this.
Well, doing this right here is something that, when you have a talent, a gift, that God bless you with a talent, and it's only the will of God that you're able to give it back to the children in the community. So I started this program in 2011 while I was incarcerated. I served jail time. So while I was incarcerated, I wanted to figure out a way to give back to the community when I was released. I was released in 2014, so I started my first program was a youth athletic camp at the Pritchard Stadium. So now we're going on 10 years. This year is going to mark our 10th anniversary. So I've been doing this 10 years now, working with children in the community. Started a football program in 2015. I also started a baseball, soccer, a cheerleading, and basketball program in the midst of time. So we just been growing, man. We affected over 1,200 children in the community, trying to get all these children involved in sports, trying to get them academically sound. We have the Life Sync Academy. Our organization is the Palmer Williams Group. Myself and my partner, Mr. David Palmer, we work with the children. We started the organization together. We help the children just continue to give back as much as we can.
Alright, I got like I'm coming to you tonight, you know what I'm saying, to talk about the situation where one of the leagues that folded.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I want to get your opinion since you've been in the league and then you know what I'm saying, you've been doing it so long, you know what I'm saying, like how you think that league kind of folded?
Well, when I first was released, and the first time I started a football program, the league that you mentioned that's folding is the NYFC. I started out in the NYFC in 2015. That was my first year in the football, and we started with NYFC. We had 4 teams. We was a traveling team. Name of our team was the Pritchard Cowboys. We started out on West Main Street at the old Blunt High School, the one they tore down. We used that field. But when I came into the league, I had no idea what the youth sports had come to after being incarcerated and being away for so long, for 15 years. So when I came back out, I didn't understand what was going on. So I wanted to get into it, but I wanted to see the children grow and prosper. So I spent my first 3 years in the NYFC.
Yeah.
Played in the NYFC, played by their rules, learned what they was doing. I didn't feel like the direction at the time, but they was moving in was a good direction for what we was understanding the children needed. And I just felt like Mobile football at that point in time was just so far behind. After I would travel out to Texas, I would travel out to Georgia, I would travel to Florida, traveling to all these different states, seeing how they was operating, trying to learn more about what I needed to do with my program. I realized that Mobile youth football was so far behind. So what I did that year, in 2018, I pulled my program out of the NYFC because I didn't agree with what they had going on in the way the rules, the stipulations, the practice times, and all these different things that they was trying to do that was hindering the development of the children. So in 2018 was my last season playing in the NYFC, which I had warned them then that if they continue to do the way they are doing and everything that's going on around the country on a national level, that it wasn't going to work. It wasn't going to last. So I went on, got out of there early, and I went and became an independent league. I changed the name of the team and moved to High Point. Became the High Point Cowboys and left the Pritchard Cowboys in the NYFC. So after that, it came the pandemic. When the pandemic came, we was already an independent league. We was already an independent park. We wasn't playing in any particular league, but we decided that we would play with the Mobile Parks and Rec Department.
All right. So what's the pro? What the different rules you? What the different rules between the independent league and the other league, the NYLC?
The difference was between the MYFC and the independent league was that the independent league, we didn't have all the stipulations as far as coaches coaching one team. If you could coach one team, you could coach any team. You couldn't do that in the MYFC. You couldn't coach all the kids in the park. And with me being a director and me being a former NFL player, I felt like I needed to be able to touch every child in our organization. And I feel like I need to coach every team, not just a 4U, a 5U, a 6U. I just felt like I needed to coach and be a part of every team. In the NYFC, they said you couldn't do that. You move team to team or whatever. So that was just one of the things. Then the practice times. You go to all these different states, they're playing football year round. Now it's your choice to play year round, but you don't want to tell the children that, hey, we can't get out there in the middle of August, or we can't get out there in the middle of February and do football drills. You know, in the NYFC, it was a stipulation that if you get seen out there playing with a football, working out the children and doing all these different things, that right there was hindering the development of the children while other states are continuing to play year round. They practice football, they playing games year round. You got to wait all the way to April, June, July, all this to be able to play football. It was just a big hindrance. So those are some of the things, and also playing cross league play during the season. Cross league play, the NYFC didn't allow you to play cross league play. Being in the independent league, you could travel to Birmingham in the middle of the season. You could travel to Florida. You could travel and play teams wherever you want to play and not be penalized. There was no stipulations where you played at, and that was another thing. They tried to hinder you from playing opposition other leagues in the NYFC. So it just was things like that that I just didn't feel like it was going to be beneficial for the development of the children.
All right. What about like the national? You know what I'm saying? I heard a lot of chat about the rules for the national. Do y'all got the rules so you can they go with the national to make it to the national team? I mean to the national.
Well, in the independent league, we still have certain rules that don't apply to nationals for weight limits. In the independent league, we still have weight limits that when you go to another league, if you play in a national tournament, you won't be faced with those national stipulations as far as on the weight and stripers. You know, we have stripers in the independent league. So I understand on the local level of having children to play under control and not being having to tackle overweight children and all those types of things. So I can understand that. But if you're going to travel and do on a national level, some of those things are going to have to be removed. So that's just up to the individual park, though. You can train however you want to train.
All right. Another quick question. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you think the player doing it? I mean, the coach are doing it for themselves, or they really doing it for the player?
Well, one, you hear a lot of people say the thing about we doing it for the children. I'm all for the children. But what I tell people all the time, you have to do it for yourself as well. Because you're the one gonna have to sacrifice your time, you're gonna have to sacrifice your family, you're gonna have to sacrifice all the things that you have to sacrifice to be a coach. And to be a coach, it takes sacrifice. Your family gonna suffer, people gonna suffer. So you gotta invest yourself into it as well. But what they have to understand is on the priority level, the priority is the children. The children has to come first. The development of the children, making sure they're getting what they're needed, making sure they're developing, getting to their full potentials. That has to be a priority. But at the same time, you have to invest yourself into it as well. So I say it goes hand in hand. You can't have the coaches without the children. You can't have the children just out there running around without the coaches. So you need both, but on the priority level, you got to have the children to be the priority.
All right, this will be my last question. Do you think if that league fold, will the violence will go up, or how you think it'll affect the community?
Well, children are gonna play football in Mobile County regardless. You know, it's football being offered. If the league folded and there wasn't no other options out there, then I could see it being a problem or a hindrance to children not having an opportunity to participate in football. But you still have football being played. It's gonna be played in the city of Mobile. You just have different leagues now. Things have changed. Just like when the Mobile County leagues and the Mobile City leagues, when they merged and formed the NYFC, that was 20, 25 years ago. It's just now, it's a changing of the guard. Now you have the MIYFL, which is the Mobile Independent Youth Football League, and you have the Port City Youth Football League. So you still have two options to participate in youth football this year. But the NYFC just wouldn't come to an understanding of what the coaches was asking them to do, and they just didn't want to budge on it, and it ended up costing them. And that's just what happened. So now you have the Port City League and you have the Independent League. Parents can still make their choice and they can still play football. Football is still going to be played in the city of Mobile with children between the age of 4 and 13.
Oh, hold on. All right. This is my last question.
Yeah.
All right, they said when I was talking to White, he was kind of saying that people, how y'all, the independent league came about was y'all run away from competition. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to get your stance on.
Well, it's the children are the children. It's not like you going outside of Mobile to get children. All the children are children of Mobile. It's not a lack of competition because they're going to play against the same children no matter what. The children in Mobile are going to play against the children in Mobile. There's no way that you're running away from competition because you're still going to play the same children. No matter what league it is, it's still the same children. It's not like they're going somewhere to Florida and bringing in a whole team of kids, or like they going somewhere to Mississippi and bringing in a whole league of children. It's still the children in Mobile are going to be playing against the children of Mobile. It's just that it's a different league. It's no different children. It's the competition. It's the competition. You know, people may want to think and think that it's a different level of competition just because of their own personal reasons. But if you look at the bottom line, it's still the same children.
All right, now shout out to Park one more time before we get up out of here.
Well, you know, we are here at High Point. We're the High Point Cowboys, and we will offer football in the fall. We will be playing in the Mobile Independent Youth Football League, and we will also be playing in the Port City Football League. We'll play teams in both leagues. We'll play teams during the week. We'll play teams on the weekend. We're going to just play football at High Point. We don't run from no competition. We play the best of the best in the city, whatever they have to offer. Whoever want to line up and play it, then we're going to play whoever want to play. So it doesn't matter to us. And that's one of the things that we really wanted, was to be able to play everybody, which is why we decided at High Point to be independent.
All right. You want to tell them where to find you at on Facebook?
Well, you can find us on Facebook at High Point Youth Athletic Organization, at High Point Youth Athletic Organization, or you can either call me if you need more information or questions about our organization and our program at 251-644-3125. As you can see here today, we're here practicing baseball. So we have baseball, we offer baseball, we also offer soccer. We offer flag football, we offer basketball, we offer cheerleading. We have all types of sports that we offer here. So you come here as a one-stop shop, year-round sports.
All right, shout out Jams TV before you get out of here. Jams TV.
Hey, thanks to Jim's TV for coming out to High Point Park today and hearing our story and learning more about what we do in the community.
All right, this Jams TV again and how the Jams out the city.